Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go to the trades that I took today, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow, and what other setups I'm watching for the rest of the week. So, if we start off on SPY, I haven't been touching futures, but I'll just go over currently what I see and, what the charts look like. So, again, the 30-minute chart tells us the main trend in the market. Actually, these are not the right contracts. I know we have the 640s, I believe, or 640s right here. This chart is starting to cross negative, but again, this 50 SMA is still sloped up. We'll have to see how we open up tomorrow, because right now, yes, the market is technically still, we're kind of going neutral at the moment, so it's just kind of deciding if it wants to go neutral or cross back up and continue the trend, because we're still above these higher time frame 50 SMAs, so we're still sitting at that 1 hour 50 right here, which is key support. And then same with the other time frames, 2 hours crossing, sitting right around that 50 SMA, and then the 4 hours actually already crossed over here and it's dipped to the 10. I don't think the daily's crossed at all. Yeah, actually, yeah, the daily is crossed. I didn't even notice that. But daily charts crossed. Like, all the higher time frames except for the 30-minute are crossed, so it wouldn't surprise me if this did go back and cross and markets back bullish. Technically, when we're in a spot like this, it's kind of like a neutral phase. I know there's a neutral market and then there's a trending market, but it's kind of deciding what's going to happen. I still favor higher because of these other time frames. They're still crossed, still looks good. So if I had to pick a bias, it'd be still to the upside. That's why I think on SPY. Then first, taking a trade again tomorrow, 0-day cross on calls will be the move. 50 dip on calls. But yeah, pretty simple game plan going into tomorrow for SPY. Again, today I didn't even pull up the SPY charts. I've been focused more on options and swinging, because that's just kind of where the opportunity's at. I'm not going to be focused on SPY when the trades haven't been doing that well. So I'm going to devote my time to what's actually milking out some really good percentage moves. So today, Google went over this yesterday's video that I really like this. I still really like this chart. I mean, a little bit of a dip today. It's literally held the 50 SMA to a T today. So I still like this for upside. I mean, we got this big dip today. I was down like 40%, I think, at 1.45%. Down like 30 right now. So as long as this 50 SMA holds, I'm holding it. Again, I'm waiting for a daily candle closure under this 50 SMA. It closed under in the slightest bit. I'm not considering this a candle closure below because of how close it is. So if we end up closing all the way down here at 164, then I would have closed it, because at that point, it's not looking good at all. But we end up wicking into the close, and Google, nice bounce. I do like this chart a lot. This 50 SMA is a massive pivot. I want to make sure this is like a clear close under before I do stop out, because if it does bottom, it's going to be right around this 50. I mean, you could see in the past chart of what happens. Obviously, Google has been a little bit more choppier, but you can see what happens when we first initially cross, dip to the 50, and then rip, and it's got to pull back in the trend. Now, I'm looking for a bottom to be formed on this stock. And great thing about the system is, even though Google's been ripping the past couple weeks, this still gives us those temporary bottoms, and that's why I love the system. But another one, MRK, is what I'll be watching. This daily 50 SMA is pretty flat. I won't lie. I do favor this breaking eventually throughout the week. The higher time frames, where they look like as 4 hours, kind of in between crossing and rejecting, so it's kind of hard to tell from there. Other time frames do look good, but my main focus is this daily chart on these August 15th contracts. I know the 30-minute did cross today on the weekly, so that's also good. We're just going to have to see if it actually holds, though, because I believe we did break below the 50. It's kind of in between crossing negative and holding the 50. And not crossing, so we're gonna have to see how we open up tomorrow on MRK. But like I said, this is one that I'll be watching to see this daily chart could cross, because the 50 really isn't sloped down much, and we already rejected it about 7-8 times. So again, MRK is one that I'm gonna be watching. Nike, I went over this, but I mean, look at this daily candle. Told you guys this chart looked really bullish on Nike. What happens today? These contracts ended up gapping up quite a bit and ripping. So 0.91 all the way up to 206, and that's on the August 15th expiration. If you took shorter expiration, you're probably up like 300-400%. But yeah, Nike chart was really good. Gave you guys that I think on Friday, as well as I went over it in yesterday's video. But yeah, Nike was a really good setup. Hood is one that I actually like a lot. 30-minute chart ended up crossing on the nearest Friday expiration. These are the 15ths, but this is kind of just to reference the higher time frames and kind of what we look like. So you can see we got back by the 10, the 50 here. on the 4-hour, and if this 10 could curl up, this looks really good for higher, because I know the 30-minute chart did cross on Hood. I'm pretty sure the other time frames are currently crossing, so I do like Hood if we did get some sort of dip to the 50 SMA. Yeah, Hood, good setup. And OKLO, went over this already past couple days. I do really like this chart for higher. I mean, I told you guys this daily chart's just crossing, and we're already getting a move higher. These contracts did dip quite a bit today to 575. I know we lost the 30-minute 50 on OKLO. It still looks really good for a swing for like larger time frame expiration, or like not really that large. I mean, it's the 15th expiration. This does look good, but the spot to buy was on Friday for the swing. I mean, it just looked really good. It became right down the 50 on Friday's open, bounced right off of it, made the bottom, and it ended up flying a bit. So still looks good. I wouldn't go chasing it up here though. If the 30-minute crosses again, then you could take that shorter term expiration if the weeklies cross on the Friday expiration. But again, I went over this many times. I went over it from the back here on whatever day this was, but I told you guys that this was a good looking chart, and we moved quite a bit higher already, so you probably could have caught a decent move if you took any dated expirations like for a few weeks out. And then we have AMD. I mean, this is just textbook. I mean, this is exactly what the daily charts do. I mean, this is what I'm looking for Google to do. It's not that, it's not the best looking setup in the world on Google right now, but this is why I buy these 50 SMA dips. Look what happens when we get those dips to the 50. That's up over 10x. I mean, these dips are up over 10x from the 50. I mean, and then when you get a 30-minute cross that's aligned with this daily chart trend, when we're crossing the daily, that's where like that A+ setup comes in. And that's where you can just milk out a ton of points. That's why I'm buying the 50 on Google. I mean, I love the setup. You can see what happens in past examples on past charts. I mean, dip to the 50 on AMD. Look at the move. I mean, AMD was a crazy gapper today, and that ended up paying if you took. So, yeah, AMD really good. Another one I like, Coin. Look at this daily chart on Coin. Contracts are definitely more expensive on Coin. Don't get me wrong, but higher time frames look really good on Coin. I like this chart a lot. We're at the 50 SMA on the daily chart. This is a big resistance, or a big support area. You could either buy this 50 dip with some like couple weeks out, or wait for the weekly chart to cross on the call side for like the nearest Friday expiration. So the 400 calls for this Friday, if they cross, that's your entry. Or you just buy this dip to the 50 today, and you'd already be up a good amount of points. It's nothing crazy, but I mean, from what is that, 1350 all the way up to like 17. I don't even know what they peaked at today, but yeah, I mean, if you bought this dip down here, you're up a little bit. So that's kind of how you play these charts. You either buy the 50 dip with some time, or you wait for the 30-minute chart to cross on the nearest Friday expiration, and you take the entry that way. So those are the two ways of doing it. I'm kind of just repeating myself in every video, but it's for the new people, and also so that you guys kind of learn and see the thought process behind all these trades every day. It's the same exact setups every single day pretty much. We're looking for the monthly chart to be crossed or crossing, and then use the 30-minute chart to take an entry. You could also take an entry, like I said, at this daily 50 after we get the cross. That's your best pivot point on like the higher time frame picture. You buy a few weeks out expiration. Earliest I'd go would probably be 2 weeks. Anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks is the way to go in my opinion, because it could dance around a little bit, like right in here. Obviously, I know this wasn't a dip to the 50, but I know we played Nike last week and it danced around the 50 for a couple days. So going with like the nearest Friday expiration, I wouldn't do that with playing the daily chart. If anything, go 2 weeks out, and that'd be like your minimum that I'd go to. So like 2 to 4 weeks out is probably the best way to play these. But yeah, when we get that 30-minute cross, that's when I play the shorter expiration. The daily chart, I'm usually playing a week or two out. But right now on Google, I do have Friday's expiration, so it's a little bit riskier. I'm pretty confident in it. I do like the setup, so we're going to see how that plays out. But that's what we did today. I mean, there's a lot of good setups. I could show you a million more setups that I'm going to be watching, but that's all I could kind of fit on this little screen here. And also private, Discord, I'm kind of sharing some in there as well. So if you guys did enjoy, drop a like, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, like I said, join Discord down below. It's where all the trades are shared and all the swings I'm taking. Also a place to be if you want to learn. I mean, you ask any question, I'll be sure to answer it. And yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.